Dr. Shade is a psychologist who provides educational insights on personality behaviors and mental health issues. Relationships are meant to bring comfort, trust, and emotional security into our lives. Healthy relationships help people grow, heal, and become better versions of themselves. However, not every relationship is built on love and mutual respect. Some relationships appear beautiful and exciting in the beginning, but slowly become emotionally exhausting and psychologically damaging. One personality type often discussed in this context is the covert narcissist. Unlike the stereotypical narcissist who openly displays arrogance, superiority, and attention-seeking behavior, a covert narcissist often appears quiet, sensitive, vulnerable, and misunderstood. Their behavior can be difficult to identify because manipulation is usually hidden beneath emotional intimacy and sympathy. If someone repeatedly finds themselves in emotionally draining relationships, it does not necessarily mean they are weak or unintelligent. In many cases, certain positive personality traits can make someone more vulnerable to manipulation. This discussion is not about blaming victims. Instead, it is about understanding patterns and learning how to recognize unhealthy dynamics before they become destructive. Who is she looking for? A female covert narcissist is often attracted to specific personality traits. Ironically, these traits are usually qualities that society considers admirable. The first quality is the protector instinct. She may seek someone who naturally wants to protect and care for the people they love. Such individuals feel responsible for keeping others emotionally and physically safe. The second quality is being a helper. These are people who genuinely enjoy helping others. They often put other people's needs before their own and find purpose in supporting those around them. The third quality is integrity. People with integrity value honesty and commitment. When they make promises, they take them seriously and do everything possible to keep them. The fourth important quality is being loving and affectionate. Such people give their love wholeheartedly. They provide attention, emotional support, praise, and reassurance without expecting much in return. These qualities are beautiful and valuable in healthy relationships. However, when they are used by manipulative individuals, these same strengths can become vulnerabilities. Phase 1: luring you in. The relationship often begins like a dream. She may appear energetic, intelligent, charming, attractive, and emotionally captivating. You feel as if you have met someone extraordinary. There is excitement, emotional intensity, and a feeling of immediate connection. One of the most powerful tools during this stage is emotional vulnerability. She may quickly begin sharing painful experiences, difficult memories, or stories about being hurt by others in the past. She creates statements like, "No one has ever understood me the way you do. I've never opened up to anyone like this before. You make me feel safe." These words can create a strong emotional bond very quickly. For a naturally empathetic person, this can trigger the desire to protect and help. Instead of seeing a potential romantic partner, they begin seeing someone who needs saving. At the same time, something else is happening. She is learning about you. She pays attention to your fears, your insecurities, your emotional needs, your past experiences, your deepest secrets. The conversations feel deeply meaningful because both people appear emotionally open. You may feel that you have finally found someone who understands you completely. However, the information shared during these intimate moments may later become a source of emotional control. Not every action is necessarily planned or intentionally evil. Some manipulative patterns can develop through learned survival behaviors or unresolved psychological issues. Regardless of intent, the emotional damage can still be very real. Phase 2: pulling you deeper into the relationship. Once emotional attachment begins to develop, the next phase often starts. Suddenly, her behavior changes. She may become distant, less responsive, or emotionally withdrawn. You become confused. You ask yourself, "What happened? Did I do something wrong?" When you ask for an explanation, several things may happen. She might suggest that you hurt her emotionally, or she may talk about painful experiences from her past and express fears of being abandoned. Statements may sound like, "I'm scared you'll hurt me like everyone else did. I'm afraid of trusting people. I don't want to get hurt again." Now your helper instinct becomes activated again. You want to prove that you are different. You reassure her. You comfort her. You begin making promises. "I'll never leave you. I'll always be here for you. I would never hurt you." To a person with integrity, these promises are extremely meaningful. They are not empty words, they become emotional commitments. This creates a stronger emotional bond and increases the feeling of responsibility toward the relationship. At this point, emotional investment becomes much deeper. Phase 3: anchoring you emotionally. Once strong attachment exists, another process begins. The relationship slowly becomes centered around reassurance. She repeatedly seeks confirmation of your loyalty and love. You may feel compelled to repeat promises over and over. I'll stay. I'll never abandon you. You can trust me. Because you value honesty and commitment, you continue trying to prove yourself. Then the relationship begins changing in confusing ways. One day she is loving and affectionate. The next day she becomes cold and distant. One moment she praises you. The next moment she criticizes you. This creates an emotional cycle often described as a push-pull dynamic. You begin wondering, oh, where did the person I fell in love with go? The difficult truth is that the idealized version you experienced at the beginning may never have been consistent or real. Emotional and psychological effects. Over time, constant emotional instability begins affecting your mental state. You may start questioning yourself. You begin thinking, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm not good enough. I can do online always some way. Maybe if I try harder, things will improve. Gradually, self-confidence starts fading. You may stop expressing your opinions because disagreements create emotional conflict. You may avoid standing up for yourself because the emotional consequences feel overwhelming. As time passes, people in these relationships often experience anxiety, emotional exhaustion, sadness, depression, low self-esteem, constant self-doubt. The most dangerous part is that this process often happens slowly. You may not even realize your sense of identity is being affected until significant emotional damage has already occurred. Control and isolation. Another common pattern is increasing control. Over time, friends and family may slowly become less present in your life. She may become jealous when you spend time with others. Even harmless interactions can create conflict. Eventually, you may begin avoiding social situations simply to prevent arguments or emotional tension. The result is emotional isolation. The fewer people you have around you, the harder it becomes to recognize unhealthy behavior. Isolation also makes leaving the relationship feel much more difficult. When someone becomes your entire emotional world, walking away can feel impossible. Understanding the bigger picture. One important thing must be understood. Being kind, loyal, loving, and protective are not weaknesses. The problem is not your ability to care for others. The problem occurs when those qualities are repeatedly used against you. Many caring individuals stay in unhealthy relationships because they believe they can save the other person. Others stay because they feel obligated to keep promises. Some stay because they confuse emotional intensity with love. But real love does not require losing your identity. Real love does not constantly make you question your worth. Real love does not demand endless sacrifice while giving little in return. Healthy relationships are built on trust, respect, stability, communication, emotional safety, mutual support. If a relationship consistently leaves you emotionally drained, confused, anxious, and disconnected from yourself, then staying simply because of guilt or obligation may not be healthy. Your compassion, loyalty, and ability to love deeply are strengths. In the right relationship, those qualities become beautiful foundations for connection. In the wrong hands, they can become tools for manipulation. Recognizing unhealthy patterns is not about becoming cold or distrustful. It is about learning to protect your emotional well-being and understanding that healthy love should never require you to lose yourself.